A very good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on Uctv. My name is Nora Osende, and welcome once again to the weekend edition. Now, this weekend edition, it so happens that just yesterday was the Women's Day. And today we are going to discuss and talk about the significance of this Women's Day to the women, not just any other woman, but to the Catholic women. What does this really signifies? What does this mean to us? How do we celebrate? What more can we do to make this a reflection in our daily lives? Well, today in studio I have remarkable ladies to discuss this topic, and these are ladies that are not strangers to this place really. Just last week we had a discussion about the same thing, but in a different light. Well, today in studio we have Madame Mary Assumpta Gidudu, who is the president of Uganda Catholic Women's Apostolate. You're very welcome. And we have Florence Kevin Kwesigabo, the coordinator of the family office at Uganda Episcopal Conference. You're so welcome.
Thank you, Nora.
You're welcome, Madame Assumpta.
Thank you.
Let's just start by telling us a little bit about yourself in just a few minutes, and then we'll run to you. Yes, you can tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. I'm Maria Assumpta Gidudu, and I'm the Catholic Women Apostolate President currently. I'm glad to be here tonight again to share with you the views and the goodness of being a Catholic woman in the Catholic Church. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you. I'm Florence Kevin Kwesigabo. I work with the Uganda Episcopal Conference and the family office. I coordinate the family apostolate nationally. I'm very happy to be with you again today to share what we do, our hopes, and where we want to be in future. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for making time. As you know, yesterday was a Women's Day celebration, and when this time of the year, time of the month, normally people call it actually a Women's Month. Celebrations all over the world. We just want to try and understand. I'll start with Florence, who is next to me. What does the Women's Day celebration mean to the women in the Catholic Church, now that I'm talking to a woman leader in the Catholic Church?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now, the Women's Day is an international event. So even us in Uganda here, we celebrate. It is about bringing women together, women from different walks of life, to appreciate their existence and also try to reflect on what they can do to better themselves. Each woman, first of all, has to look into herself and see how was I last year and how am I now and how will I be next year. And then you go to the group that we lead. So how was the group yesterday and then today and tomorrow? What do we want to see? It is basically a time for reflection on what we really have achieved and what we hope to be.
Yes. Would you say the same thing, Madame Mary? Is it a time for reflection? What does this really mean to women in the Catholic Church when we call on these celebrations for Women's Day?
You see, most interesting is that the whole world is celebrating it. And definitely the government recognizes that day. And the church also. Remember, for us Catholic women, it's voluntary. The leadership in the Catholic Church for the women is voluntary. It's not political. It is faith-based. So we look at the women from the faith side, wondering what are they thinking as women in the community there. So first of all, we start by thinking about, we should have a prayer, so that we can pray for ourselves, both in our families and also in the community. So the church has to come together and realize that is important, that women come out as Catholic women to pray together. After praying together, then they celebrate in other ways.
Surely praying together is very important. It's very profound in a sense. Sometimes the celebrations are limited to oh, today is Women's Day, so as a woman, I'm not going to touch this, I'm not going to touch that. And so it makes it seem so not deep, so much on the surface. And what do you have to say about that, really?
We have really moved away from that. That today is Women's Day, so I have to eat chicken, which women were not allowed to eat. It is now different. It is because, first of all, for us being faith-based, we know that the family is a very important thing in the Catholic Church. And there's no woman who can do a family alone. We need support from the men, and we share responsibilities of building children and building the church. So it can't be that it is a day for men to cook and sweep and be seen mingling kalo. No, it is a day for us all to come together. Much as the women are have been to today, I mean, how much as the women can join the national celebrations, like they can go to Chankwazi, they can go to Kololo, those are national celebrations. Yes. But for us, the Catholic Church, fine, we also mobilize ourselves and join. But the key celebration to us is to go inside the church, have mass, do our procession as usual as offertory, and show love to our church. And then during the homily, that day, the homily is focused on teaching women what the church wants to see from each woman. Yeah. Yes. So it is about mass. So for us, the Catholic faith women, it is not about just going to Chivanda or here and there. It is about mass. Once we have finished our mass, then we can do other things.
Okay. I want to go a little bit about the theme of this year's celebration, which is basically Accelerate Action for Gender Equality.
True. That
right?
is it, yeah.
How does that resonate with the Catholic women, right, at this point in time?
The Catholic women.
Yes.
Now, when you talk of action, accelerating is just to speed up. Accelerate action for gender equality. Still, it takes us to what I was saying, mingling household roles or household chores are supposed to be shared by men and women. Now, when we talk of accelerating action, it is not only in the household, but it's also in the faith. We are supposed to now walk a little bit faster in faith, in actions in the house. And for us in the Catholic faith, we use the word, when we talk of faith without action is dead faith. So that is where we are. So in our activities that we do, we had a word which is very famous in the Catholic Church, Sasa. Sasa in Swahili is like now, Sasa. But for us it is start action and support awareness. That is what we are doing. And that word became very, very famous during the domestic violence prevention campaign, that we should start action on making people aware of the dangers of domestic violence. So it was about that. Yes. Action, accelerate action. We expanded engagement. It is no longer only women who are trying to fight domestic violence, but we are working it with the priests, with the catechists, with the LC1, and government structure. Where there is teaching people, we do teach them. Where there is crime, we refer. So it came up during that. So all that needs to be accelerated, because sometimes when things are lukewarm, there is no happiness. So it is all about to speed up our work towards gender equality.
I would also like to hear Madam Assumpta's thoughts on this.
Thank you. Now, I think women are moving at a good pace. When they talk about acceleration, it means they are moving. Catholic Church, different women are doing different activities on such a day in the whole of this country. In Rugazi Diocese, I've seen it. Women work closely with the consecrated women, hospitals, nurses, and the doctors. They use that day to meet people in the community, to give free medical care. And I think it has been good. At one time, I thought it was a nice thing, but I realized that it can't come every year. If you want people to move on, you can't keep on waiting for get that health support on that day. And so we brought suggestions to the leaders in the hospitals and the women that let them have it like a week of health support and leave them to be free and enjoy their day in full. But if they keep on waiting for testing for cancer, test for this and that, I think that anxiety spoils their happiness of the day. Right. Yeah, but I brought it up when I was last with the women, that is 2024, I brought it up and I said, I think I got concerned. I said, that day makes me get depressed. You are scared of your status, so why wait for another day? So I think this year they're not doing it. They are going to even to enjoy in other ways, but we can always have those health camps come like during the season of the Women's Day month.
Okay. Though I may ask, Madam Florence, must we wait for only the Women's Day for such activities to take place? How does this reflect on the role of women really right now in the Catholic Church?
In the Catholic Church, first of all, I want to assure you that what we do is ongoing. It is not a one-day activity that we are campaigning against domestic violence, we are doing women empowerment, we are fighting poverty. It is not a one-day thing. It is an ongoing activity, or activities keep going on throughout the dioceses. We don't wait. This day is just for joining others to say that we are also here. But without that day, we are still very, very busy. At the diocese level, we have national level work where the women come to Kampala and we do our resolutions on what we want to see in the dioceses. While at the dioceses, we still have women visiting each other. Inter-diocesan visits, we have their Women's Day, which is different from this Women's Day. They will have already had a big Women's Day where you go to any diocese and you really see a sea of women. We have done that all the time, and we do it, and it's ongoing. Every year, there's a time to come together. In some dioceses, they make it even like a convention. They take many days. But in that time, you find like they can be there for 4 days. But you see that it is a sea of women. So it is not that we wait for this 8th and then start fidgeting. No, for us, our work is ongoing. Even as you see us now here, we are planning for an international event, and it makes all of us busy. Every diocese is planning to see how to bring their women to receive our world president. So we have ongoing activities. Even this thing of, because this is about family apostolate, we have told the women that they should have mass. Those who can weekly, those who can at least monthly, where women and their children and their husbands all go to church. They all go to church and do a family-focused mass where issues concerning family life are addressed by a priest. You see, we enjoy our life because we have support of people who are highly educated teaching us free of charge. You just take it there yourself. Inside the church, you go there, you find people who are ready to teach you. And that is our priests. We have the catechist. And then the church leadership also, we have head of married women, head of married men. They are all already there to talk to people on that day. Because we have now challenges regarding family. Families are broken. And it is a big concern. Right up to the Vatican, the concern is dead families, broken families, dysfunctional families. Very many. It is so painful to see children, especially the youth, and they don't have parents. And then the church also cannot do much. For me, I've gone around the country. I've also gone, but you find pain where you see children, they want to go to school, but the parents don't have even money. But I tell men, how can you be a man and you don't have even a chicken walking in your compound? You don't have, even women, not only men. You don't have a chicken, you don't have a goat, you don't have a cow. The woman is producing, the cow should also be producing. So that the calf, this one is sold and the child goes to school. But you find a woman with 8 children, she does not even have a chicken. No, that's breaking men also. Sometimes I get annoyed and I tell them, no, it cannot continue like this. You have to change. I tell them I have kept 1 chicken and I got 5 cows. By the time I left to go to senior 1, I had 5 cows from 1 hen. Why can't it be with you people? So we are now talking about that because we really want the church to be an organized place to be. We shouldn't just go there to take our problems. They are there lining to talk to priests. What will the priest do with you? Can a priest teach you how to love your wife or how to love your husband? No. We are telling them that, please, can you handle yourselves at that level and teach each other how to improve. And we are trying to do things differently, following that model.
Trying to do things differently, really. Yeah. And I see you're advocating for women to empower themselves.
The women empowerment
and make sure that they stand in the gap. Even if they're men, they should also, you know, be there. I just want to hear Madame Assumpta's view on the women's roles are evolving each and every day, and where we were in the past is not where we are now. How do you see this evolution of the role of women, especially in the church today?
The role of women today cannot be overlooked because they are doing quite a lot. And as I'm talking tonight, we've got we had the Women's Day of Prayer, International Women's Day of Prayer, and that Women's Day of Prayer brings together women from different faiths, and that is the Orthodox Church, the Anglican Church, and the Catholic Church. All these, they are supposed to bring women together as the community members. You know, when you can find your daughter is a Catholic child but going to marry an Anglican boy. Do you stop them? You don't. So this Uganda Joint Christian arrangement of prayer, which has become stronger and stronger, started in Kampala, and I think Kampala has celebrated that day for about 15 years. Now, for us also in Rugazi and Rusoga and Rusoga and the Jinja and the Rugazi and the Mukono Diocese, Masaka does the same. We want women to be together and work together because the role of leading women is similar, both in the Anglican Church and the Catholic Church. And I think we've had an impact. We have an impact because the problems that they are having are similar to what we are having. So when we meet in these meetings, we discuss. They tell you, for me, my husband, if I don't bring suggestions at home about prayer, he sleeps. We have just the same thing they are going on in the Catholic Church. So if a woman sleeps, the man sleeps. So if the man sleeps, the children sleep. So there is no improvement in our beliefs. But Anglican Church is fighting the same thing. We are fighting the same thing, and we want women to continue coming out of the house. Don't stop in the family. Continue in the community and help others to come up and live the life that they expect as a Christian woman.
It's very interesting what you're saying. Not just limit yourself into the household, but your influence as a woman should actually spread beyond the household into the community.
Exactly.
Yes. And I see that is a very, very important role there as women. And not just in the church, but it's also women generally. As women leaders, you have dealt with a lot, you know, and you have come through so much in serving the community. I will start with you, Madame Florence. What are some of the things that you feel this has been one of most fulfilling roles in serving the community as a woman leader?
As a woman leader, I'm actually going out to satisfaction. The climax will be hosting the whole world in Uganda. So I'm actually entering full satisfaction that I've served in the church. Of course, I started from the sub-parish. Then I've always mentioned my levels of traveling up to serve in the church. But now what I see, like for us in the church, we have a family down at the bottom. From the bottom, we have the small Christian community. What I want to see is women in the small Christian communities having activities that support the family. Now they narrow themselves down there at home and see how is Jennifer in her home and her children and her husband. Then the other one, so how is Mary in her home and her husband? When there is a funeral, how are they supporting each other? When there is going to church and one is missing, where is so and so today? We want to see that at home, what they used to call makakumi. That is the smallest Christian view. That is the smallest Christian community. So I go to some communities, sub-parish, and you hear women, you talk to them, then they say, because I have a village. Though I sit in the national office, which says don't go to the village, I was born in a village. So I can have access to my sub-parish, to my parish, my sub-parish, and even the community. So you hear women in the sub-parish saying that, can you please donate for us saucepans so that when there's a funeral, we can be present and support in the way of providing food. So you see that women are cooperating as the Catholics, Catholic women, and that's what I want to see, that if you are doing well, how have you helped the other? If the other one is sick, how is the team going to support? And really, we have moved from that family, small Christian community, sub-parish. We have linkage to the parish, to the diocese, and up to national level. So we are concentrating on trying to see that the women are better today and even tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah. Would that be the same case with you, or yours differs just a little bit?
Just a bit. Given a chance, women are displaying their strength right from this small community levels. Women want to climb. Once she's organized on the small Christian community, then she comes up to the sub-parish level. Next time you hear she wants to be the parish leader, and they admire. They want to go as high as the diocese level. They are all waiting to see the next time I'm out of office, somebody else is waiting to also become a president of the Catholic Women of Uganda. And me, I think many people, many ladies, some of them don't know me. Some know me. Then they admire me. They think it's easy. It hasn't been easy because I also didn't know to reach this level. But when you are leading women at the when I'm talking to them, I talk to them as if you start down. Then you climb up and make people love the church. Make them love the work that you are doing. Let them admire you. As they admire you, they also perform. Now when they see us in the uniform, they want, now that skirt, when did you get that skirt? I also want to have that skirt. You find them making it. And then that uniform makes them come together as it unifies them. So as I'm talking, people have gone into buying more of the goma. Says they all want to be yellow. When it is yellow, when it is married women, they want to be in white and then the sash. And then you find they've got special headgears they want to put and match. They really love being a Catholic women. That uniform brings them together. Yes. They admire Church of Uganda. They have the one for this, the one for that. And I'm telling you, Catholic women should now start doing things not far from that. When the Anglican Church is meeting their bishop, they have got a meeting in their hall to meet the bishop. They all must be in uniform of some type, either for the CWF or Mothers Union. Now for us, we are starting it. Whenever we are going to the diocese, bishop is coming, we must also be in uniform. So I think I should encourage women to go more into being one, being uniform when they are together. And we are lucky because we are producing a uniform soon. We've got a beautiful kitenge coming out, which we have had the Archbishop launch. Manya accept, he altered whatever he wanted us to include in it. That uniform is coming out, and we want to have it out so that even when they come enough from all Africa or the whole world in July, they all go back with a piece. We have shared it before, we have had it before. So when we went to Senegal, every woman, the nuns, the priests, they came, they were all putting the same clothes. The whole, about 1,000 women and men were putting on that cloth. And nice. She has been to Malawi, she has seen it done. Malawi has like 10 uniforms because every function, Mama Monica, the Saint What, they all have different uniforms at different times, and it is so lovely. We were there for the Amesea meeting in 2023. And as soon as we arrived, they gave us a uniform. At least you throw a piece on your shoulder and be part of them. Even men are given pieces. So I came back with pieces. I think we've got small Christian community for Messiah. So I like that thing. It makes women feel they are part of the Catholic. Yeah, they belong to the Catholic Church. Yes. That uniform. Yes. I would encourage it everywhere.
It's very important, really. It brings a form of unity not just in spirit, but also in the physical. You see
Physical
that you're one.
appearance, you are
Just
one.
like you look so beautiful in this uniform.
Thank you.
Talking about uniforms, you could just give us a brief of what this is about today. Someone out there may be, oh, today they're putting on, I don't know, NRM or something.
No, this one was designed during the commissioning ceremony. We had, you see, some of the things, it is about who is leading who.
Yes.
And what have you agreed
Creativity.
to, what have you agreed to do. It is creativity, because you can sit in an office and sleep there and do nothing. Now, during the commissioning ceremony, when the top 2 from each diocese were called to Kampala, and the ceremony, all the bishops were there in Africana to commission these women. We planned that they all come, and we put the ceremony there. So we made this commissioning ceremony uniform, and they were also seeing it for the first
Uctv,
time,
the
and they were
bishops are so
asking, this is so nice. Then whoever didn't have this, where have you been? Your friends are in uniform. So this is the commissioning ceremony dress, but we have our uniforms. We have the white gomas, we have the yellow gomas. Then we also have an executive dress, which we call, it is still also commissioning ceremony dress, because this was for the introduction. Then the other one was for the Riolo ceremony at Africana. It has a lace up, it is a dress. A lace up white and a flare down yellow. So we are now getting a kitenge for ordinary work, because we said we can't have just one thing. A gomas is a state dress. You will not put a gomas and start to walampa or run up and down. Gomas, you have to look for where you are going to step. It is not a dress you just put on and start walking rapidly. No. So we have our uniform, gomes, 2 versions of it for married women and for women. Then we have the commissioning dress for all women. The whole country. Married, unmarried, the whole country. And it's now really nice. They have started, because they say it is easy, like when the women of Lira marched from their diocese that to capture town and send away the demons that are making people fornicate in town and so on, that they are capturing the town and sending away Satan. They put that dress. And it is easy to walk when you are in that. So it is all about what activity is going on, what is fitting for us to wear. And we are going to continue teaching these things until it is uniform in all the dioceses. And of course, that's what the women said when they came to national level. They said, Florence, can we have uniform things? What is done in the other diocese should be in the other diocese. What is in this diocese should be. And that is where we are now.
Very nice. Madam Assumpta, Pitchin, you had something to say.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, the last time we were in the studio, we were putting on a uniform. I think you realized it was talking about the synod. And that uniform, we got it from Nairobi, East Africa. So we also bought it and brought it back home here and shared with many women. So that when we got to Rome, when we went for the conference, we matched with Kenya, Malawi. They were all putting on that uniform that time. We really belonged to each other, and we felt really we are part of them. So now this time they were asking, what are you doing? Well, we said we are preparing something, you wait and see. Now, as for the scarves, she's having this yellow one, which that is for Uganda Catholic Women Apostolate. Somebody designed it. People are very creative out there. Now we have an outgoing chairperson of Kasese. She's very, very, very good at designing and making things. She designed that scarf, and when we met, we were all dying to get it, and yet she had not bought enough. She only bought 40 pieces, yet we are 70 women. So some of us got, even me, I didn't get. I might have to go. But now this one I'm putting on is the World Union. This is now the French version, but this is the World Union of Catholic Women Organizations. It is the scarf that the whole world puts on. So when we get together as women in the world, all of us have this scarf. All of us. It is really nice. It brings us together. Whether you are black or white, you understand what a uniform can be. Exactly.
You become one.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it's ideal that we put it on today as we celebrated. We are celebrating Women's Day internationally.
Yes.
So this also pulls us back to the old women.
It is nice. You brought up the role of unity and how the simplest of things like the clothing and the uniform can really bind people together.
It does.
In
It does.
unity,
Yes.
you know, and in uniform. It's really amazing what the Catholic women are really doing out there.
They try.
You being women in leadership, I believe you have been empowered. how has the Catholic Church really helped in empowering you? Not just you as leaders here, but also women out there in different positions in leadership. Is there still more that needs to be done?
Okay.
Yes, go
I believe they are doing a lot.
Yes.
They could do a bit more, and with guidance from the church ministers or we people at the top. But there's women out there, some of them are very creative. Like in Uctv diocese, this is my diocese, that's why I always have that example coming around. They have started microfinances, they have got circles, they have gone into growing horticulture, things which are difficult to grow as alone. When you're alone, it's difficult for you to start a horticulture. But when you're a team, it becomes easier, and yet you learn from it a lot. So they call themselves the Hogs, the agricultural what. They've got many names, and all of them as if they are competing. So one parish sees another one is doing, you hear Chindi parish says, Nafe, mujye mutuigirizeko, nafe tuberenga aba St. Paul. St. Paul is teaching Kasangalabi, Kasangalabi is going to Buguju. So that thing is spreading. And you will find the whole diocese is waiting to get a chance to learn to do something. I think it's creativity. It's creativity. It is in people who are very innovative. Yeah. And as I was talking back to the uniform, whenever they meet, they discuss. They say, Nayekatin, I saw that in your uniform. Again, which one is that? In those groups, they even do Bible study. Like I've got a circle where every meeting we have, we start with Bible study, we share the quotes here and there. So people look forward, they say, last time we discussed, we were in the Ephesians this. Last time we were in this. Now they look forward to that meeting, and it's all spiritual.
Right.
We are actually, it's people, I don't know how to put it. They wait to give their testimonies to see how they understand the Bible.
Right.
And then it gives us a chance. Then if you know you are going to lead that meeting, you have to search. You have to search more. You go to the net, you start seeing what was that first doing. So that when they bring their ideas, you give them a chance to all discuss. Then you say, but now for me, I think it is this. But you know you have done your search.
Very important.
Already. Yes,
really,
very important.
Very important. Madame Florence, how has the Catholic or the Church really empowered you in your leadership?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the bishops. We all are at the church, but in the activities that we do, it is they who say, can you please help us mobilize women? But now when you mobilize women, what do you want to do with the women? First of all, what I know about leadership is that you should try to be as much as possible exemplary. Now, when I talk of women empowerment, I'm not a woman who sleeps. I wake up at 5 a.m. right from the time I had children going to school. I made sure I'm up at 5 a.m., set my children to go to school, and then in the evening, I'm the last to sleep because everybody has had food, supper at that time. So even now, practically, I'm a farmer. I've remained farming. I grow maize, I keep cows, I keep goats, and so on, and I'm busy. Now, the church, the support I get to do my work, I must also have resources as myself. Because without resources, and the women say, come to Tororo, I'm not going to say that, please, Uganda Episcopal Conference, give me a check. No, I should be able to sell my cow, and I fuel my cow, and I go. So it is about being given a platform. What can you do there? There are people who, you have to be very fast in thinking. There are people who want to be in leadership when they need money, even to go from here to Biogerere. Now there you cannot serve in the Catholic Church. You need to have your own resources to do it because it is voluntary. We have been having a project, but for 4 years now, there's no project, but the work is going on because we believe in voluntary work inside the church. So I'm saying that people should be exemplary. If you want to be a woman leader, your home should be seen as the best home. It should have trees with fruits. It should have gardens. Your garden and Rusuku should be the best. You shouldn't have the miserable Rusuku as a woman leader. There are also men who want to be in leadership, but to enter the home, you go like a rat. There's no road to the home. So we are talking of being a leader and exemplary leader.
Yes.
For me, I have been supported by bishops, but also my husband supports me. You see, there is where you want to do this, and the man is also now a roadblock there. But for me, my husband left me to serve, and the bishops call him Muko. So we are busy really. Me, I'm busy, and nothing stops me. Sometimes when there is even a meeting outside abroad, I tell him I don't have money. He pays the ticket, and I go. And I have really utilized my capacity to serve in the church, and I'm looking forward to the ceremony that brings the whole world in Uganda here.
Very
and
nice.
I will be saying this is my maximum of serving in the church, and thanking God for giving me life, energy, and wisdom to do all this work.
We look forward
Thank
to
you.
that, really.
We are
look
all
forward
going to
that.
plan
Amongst
together.
the things that you've mentioned, you talked about women should first be good leaders to themselves before you aspire for leadership elsewhere. In that sense, it's a reflection of who you are. How does your home look like? What do you do for yourself as a person, right? And I feel like that is very important. You cannot really give what you do not have. It first has to start with you. And there is an aspect that you mentioned there when it comes to money, and how sometimes leadership involves a lot of economic spending, funding. Madam Assumpta, does that limit women's involvement in participation in leadership roles in different aspects?
Definitely it does.
Yes.
It does. And one nice bishop whom I will not mention today, in one of our meetings, when they are carrying out these elections, he advises people that people elect somebody who can afford to move from one point to another. You cannot wait for the bishop to give you transport to go and attend a meeting from the parish to the sub-parishes, or get you money for border. Get somebody who can afford to do that. So you find, at first we were complaining, we thought, bishop is being mean, won't a poor woman lead? But we realized it is important that those people can afford. If you can't afford it, you must be creative enough to find that you can reach those levels, those areas. Now, we also have the issue of women being educated. He would do, whenever we meet, he wants you to make a report, and the report should come from the sub-parish, climb up to the parish, and then the parish report should also be reflected in the diocese. Now, if a woman can't write, make a report, then he asks you, there are no details. When you attended the meeting, how many women were there? You said, we met, how many were there? So that he was particular, and he taught us to write reports, and you must be eloquent. I had to learn to speak Luganda, and then turn to English, and he said, what did you do? You know, that sort of thing. But you have to learn something so that you can work with people. And then talking about support and being liquid, or being able to do things. Many of us, of course, the husband can come in, but when you've got children who understand what you are doing, if the children admire what you are doing and they wish you to do it, you then come in. Children have paid for my ticket to Israel. They have paid my ticket to, of course, I also bring a little money, but my children really encourage me. Senegal, they wanted money. They said, Mommy, you go. Then if it is Rome, they said, even I took my daughter, one of them, to Rome. She really, now she has this curve. She's a member of the Catholic women in the world. So it is us also interesting, them making our children appreciate what we are doing, and then people in the community, and people in the family, other people also wish to be what you are. I've got my sisters. They have gone to different churches. Some of them have married Anglican men, so they would rather be in the Anglican church. Some of them have got saved. It happens. But they love to see me what I am today. And I'm telling you, one time I was going to what country, one of them said, it was US, she said, Mommy, I'm contributing towards your ticket. Because they want me to do it. They are proud of it.
Yes.
So I think we should have that, people understand and appreciate that what we are doing is not bad. What we are doing is good, and they admire it, and they support you in it? Your family or other people?
I think it's very important that in whatever we do as women, our very first immediate families should be positioned to accept it, buy into it, and
be with you throughout.
Yes, admire it.
Exactly.
That way they can support you, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very important there. You talked about the aspect of having a strong economic strength as a woman. Things like education is also very important. I just want us to go through some of the challenges that women are facing today in this Asian era that is actually limiting their participation, not just in church, but in communities at large. Madam Florence.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nora. That is a very good observation. The challenges women are faced with. Before a woman is a woman, she's first a child. She's even a youth. Now, we have a very, very big challenge as leaders when we see young girls, a girl dropping out of SC4, that she's going to marry. P7. Just a few months to exams. P7. What are you going to do in that marriage? What are you taking there? First of all, you are a child. Where you are going, they expect you to be a woman. Whether there are 10 men there, what, you are the one going to mingle localo. You have left home, you are a child. So that is a very, very serious challenge that I've met. Girls failing first to get something to do, which gives you income before you enter into marriage. So we have that as the limiting thing. Now, women who have gone far, who have read books, they also still get a challenge of marrying people with wrong characters. Then you find there's a struggle. And me, my focus is, we are focusing on the family. We want a family to stand. Now, when you find a married woman in the family with the children having challenges, one of managing the character of the man and then feeding the children, then she herself can have her own inadequacies. It is a very big challenge. So we have going for Holy Communion also as a measure. You find that there are many women who cannot go for Holy Communion. One, the men they are staying with don't want to wed. We always tell the leadership of the Catholic women that please, you mobilize them and sponsor group marriage, group wedding. Recently, we were invited to some parish in Mitiana, in Kinda Mitiana diocese. That is in Kabula Muliro. Is it Kabula Muliro? Kabula Muliro. So we went there. It is not Kabula Muliro. Bukala Muli. It is good it has come back because it is a mistake to say call some place and everything. Bukala Muli parish. We went to witness it was a family day, and on that family day some couples were getting married. We promised them, I promised them a cake, my husband promised them a bull, that if they mobilize themselves and make 10, they call them migogo, 10 couples, these things will be there for them. So we are encouraging that to move or reduce that thing of having miserable women that because they are not going for Holy Communion. We want to encourage group marriages, group weddings, so that we increase the numbers of people who go to church. And this is work which should have been done by the elder women to recruit girls. But we found that there was sleeping in the church leadership regarding empowering women. Because if younger women are not enticed by mature women to participate in the church goes down. So now we have that as a specific role of the church leadership, as Sumpta and her team. They have to go to the parishes and make sure they try to do group weddings so that we get more women practicing in the church. The more you practice, do the sacraments, it becomes easier than when you are not getting sacraments in the church.
Yes. Madam Assumpta, you said you're already doing some of these things. How else are you addressing some of these challenges affecting women?
There are many things going on. Florence has talked about supporting them with material things to prepare for those sacraments. It's going on. People have created groups of buying them attire in supporting them, like we have one big wedding cake and then they all cut at the same time. But the challenge of people are not completing their schooling, that those early marriages have of course affected many people, both in the rural areas and in the urban areas. You find many women who have not completed their studies and they are in the city, and then there are others also in town. But what we've done is to try to help them to get them better skills, help them to be more skilled, so that they can perform better and do their work. If we don't do that, you find these are the women whom we find they are the ones who are sad, the ones who fear even coming in public, and whom we call the invisible. So the church, again, the women leaders in the parishes at different levels, get the chance of reaching their women down there, whom would you call the invisible women, who will not talk, but we can reach them there. These people reach them. They say, "Mchala wagundi oyo ngasirikiride ise mu Catholic ni mu Christian she doesn't when come for rosary." Sometimes they say, "Siri yo." The woman says, "I'm not there." The woman is in the house. She's hiding from others. So, but you go, you find a way of reaching them so that they can also come up and be part of what you are doing as a Catholic women, the invisible. Right. And we have had that survey carried out in the whole of Africa. We have many invisible women in the whole of Africa, in the whole world, because South America, they also carried it out. They have got a big number of women. They are also out down there. They are lost. Lonely. So we carried out the WWO Observatory. Yeah, we did it in Uganda. They've done it in the whole of Africa, looking for them. You have to look for them. They are there. So then you give them help. Skilled whom you can, those who are not be able to be skilled, you leave them, but assist them in their own areas. Right.
Let's go to the spiritual sense now, as we celebrate the World International Women's Day internationally. We earlier on talked about how this cannot be just limited to mere roles, but it goes also deep in a spiritual sense that we hold masses, and this is really spiritual growth, and it helps women in so many ways. I just want to intertwine that with how can we reflect or have that spiritual anchor in Mother Mary, in the values of women today, even as we celebrate Women's Day.
Well, thank you very much. It is good that this talk has come even now during Lent. It is a Lenten season where we are told, repent and believe in the gospel. Come back to God now. Now. So we are practicing that during this time of Lent and so on. Now the women, looking at Mother Mary as our mother, we look at her like a mother gone, but she's our role model. Where we look at, first of all, the spiritual part of it. We are supposed to say our rosary on a daily basis. We have to go to church and then also do those things that a Catholic person is expected to do while in the community. You have to be good to others. You have to support others. But now when you look at Mother Mary, the role of mother, when we go back to the time of the wedding feast in Cana, it is Mother Mary who said, "Do what he says," after seeing that there was something lacking. Why? Now, when you look at a mother is supposed to know her children. She's supposed to mother them in faith, and in all ways you should know your child. Now, here is a woman who knew her son and walked with him even on the way of the cross. She did not hide. Some people, when they say they have caught his son is a thief, he say, that's not my son. But now we can look at the torture that Jesus Christ went through because of bringing good news to the people. Mother Mary walked with her son. Even at the end, we are shown where she carried her son, a dead body of a woman is supposed to be a mother who knows her children. We are just having challenges now that there are many homes where women are run away, they are not there. Children are just loitering. There is a home I found in Masaka there. The woman had run away, then the man also ran away. Even in Najana Nkumbi here,
families.
The woman ran away, the man also disappeared, and the LOCs are struggling with the children. Now, that is really, maybe I could even, I don't know how to call that, but maybe I think it is a satanic move. Because you cannot bring people on this earth, then you are running away. I really feel very sad for such children, but we have that. But we are saying that no matter what happens, a mother should be with her child. Even when a child has been arrested and what, you should pray for your child, but you don't run away and avoid your children. Mothers are supposed to be with their children, guiding them in faith, and even personal development. It is a mother who knows a shabby child that you don't want to wash plates, you don't want to make your bed. It is a mother who is a supervisor of the household. And it is from there that we grow children to become responsible citizens. Now, when you go to the village, you find people today, even in town here, you get children with a mitalimba, you catch a mitalimba and hit your friend on the head. Ani yakuzala. Where did you grow up from? What type of, and you hear, he's James, he's Juma, he's what? All belonging to these faiths of ours, which don't teach criminality. So we still have to go down and teach people what they should be. Even mothers, we still have to keep reminding them of the role of Mother Mary in our community. Humble person, always present. The hands are like this, prayerful. Even when you are talking to people and you are like this, it is like your obedience is being exhibited in that. So we try to teach them, but I think there's a lot that has to be done, and we need much more support. Even government should also be taking. Do you imagine if you go to the prisons, there are so many children there. Even a chicken thief is in prison 2 years, 10 years. We should try to work on these things of giving children what to do. Even a mother at home, if you don't guide your children, today you are the one cooking food, today you are the one sweeping the compound, for you do this. Children have to learn discipline by doing chores in the house. Right. There is a way it just makes you obedient and polite when you do housework. But when you are arrogant, of course, you don't want to do that.
Right, right. I want to hear your thoughts, Madam. How are we reflecting or exemplifying Mother Mary during this period?
Yeah, Mother Mary was, of course, an exemplary mother whom we all have admired throughout. She lived a simple life with a husband who was just a carpenter. But she did not complain. I think she didn't, because she was too humble. And to know that Mary was a real humble woman, when you go to Israel, they take you to the well that she used to fetch water. They have left it. It has been protected just for tourism only. They say she used to fetch water from down there. You know, it is so special. You feel, so Mother Mary would even fetch water, to come and feed her children, her family. Now, when me most times when people want to talk about your humbleness, your goodness, they call it Mwana wa Maria, the daughter of Maria. How are you? That one, people appreciate that Mary was a special mother, and when they want to give that respect of humbleness or goodness, they identify with Mother Mary. Yesterday, I was traveling from Namugongo along Seta Road. I met a lady. She was selling the fruits, and she was putting on a very big rosary. So when she was bending, I didn't see her that she had received the ash. So she was bending. Then I told her, she said, "I'm a Christian." She said, "Mwana wa Maria." Hey, I said, "Mama, I can see the rosary." Then gamba needi ofunye ash, wafunye mugenda ofuna ash. Na gamba, "Yeah, ash no." Namufunye nga she has got a big cross on the nze mwana wa Maria nze, it's me. I can't miss going for ash. I really felt good. She's Maria's daughter. So she feels she's a better person, she's a nice person, and she's talking to other person who appreciates Mother Mary is. And she told me, of course, I stay here, but I went here and I did all those details. But I felt so nice to know she appreciates who Mother Mary is. She not only her, there are many others out there. Thank you.
Nice. Very nice, really. I like it that in all this, there is a spiritual aspect that needs to be upheld,
Yes.
much as we are celebrating so much when it comes to women and the International Women's Day. This same period is also the Lenten day, period of fast, and that is a very beautiful period. As Christians, we get to submit a lot, we get to be obedient and reflect so much on that. And I am so glad that we are here and we are discussing this with you, with Women in Leadership. Now, before we break off, really, because our time is fast spent, give us a message that you would actually want to give a young woman out there during this time of celebration of women. What should women really reflect on in regards still with our spiritual time of the Lent period?
I want to say that when we are talking of change, we should say that change begins with me. But of course we have a challenge that some of the women are not very exposed. But we are trying to say that change should begin with me. If there is poverty surrounding me, how can I get out of that poverty? I was listening to Maria Matembe here last night saying that poor people will not go to heaven. So I really don't know what to talk about that. That poor people they are not going to heaven. They were arguing with another gentleman. I didn't check properly whom she was talking to, but they were trying to bring that idea. But really, when you also look at it, that poverty can really reduce you to almost nothing. You cannot even bring ideas in a village meeting when you are not presentable economically. So we are trying to say change begins with me. The message to the women: please don't use a whole of your life doing nothing. Can you find something to do? In your home, please sweep your compound. Keep some chicken. They are just birds which look for what to eat. You open the door and say, this is my chicken. When it has fed itself, your work is only to open the door for them to go and serve them, and you open for them to enter. Please have something to do. So that when a child wants to go back to school, you catch 4 cocks, sell them, you'll get a mattress. You get something. You also be some. Teach children also to have their own things which they can do, which can bring money. I've seen some excellent S4 performers. The child was roasting maize by the roadside. They roast maize, they roast cassava to get some money. Please, mothers, I want them to change. As we go to pray, can you pray that God gives you wisdom so that you find something to do that makes you count money in the evening and save it and do your own, support yourself and get out of that servitude. Because really, if a mother does not decide that you are a mother, you have children, and you are leading those children also to hell by not guiding them to be faithful to their faith, to go to church, emulate Mother Mary, and be humble, and do something productive. You are going to lead your children to hell because they are going to be the thieves. They are the ones who hit people with the metalimbwa. They are the ones who run after vehicles and grab things from there. We lose phones in the vehicle because children are lying. Now, who produces those children? You people, LOC, should look for your areas and check. Are you the ones harboring thieves? Because there is LOC 1 and these children have homes. Please, can mothers try to even storm LOC offices and try to see that their chicken are protected? Because some tell me now, I can't even keep a chicken. They are thieves, they will take the chicken. So my prayer is that they all come together and try to work on that. What are you doing as yourself? Do you have some money to support your family?
Very nice. Madam Assumpta, your final remarks, what to women out there as they celebrate International Women's Day?
Thank you very much, my dear. I think we are lucky that we have been given this platform to share what we think and what we could do for women out there in the country. I know that at this level, whoever is listening to us is wondering, what could I do in my parish? What could I do in my small Christian community? People are asking themselves those questions. The answers are already there. It is just a matter of going back. Talk to these people. Share with them what you know. skill those who are unskilled, help those ones to be, encourage them to be creative, to be innovative, to work hard. Because when you are not loaded, people don't count you. You don't exist. You understand? You can't wait to go to a store and you beg for food. You must pay for it. So we should encourage children to work, our children and women out there to work very hard, and then also be able to support them in all sorts of circumstances. If somebody comes to you for a counseling session, give her time. And we have had all those lessons from the UEC when we've been meeting as women in the country. They have taken us through psychology, counseling methods, and these women have had them. Me, whatever I was getting from the national platform, I take it back. And then I expect them to also carry it down there. You counsel other women, listen to them, advise them, guide them. And we have also been able to share and enjoy the department here of what?
Family?
No, not family.
Apostolate?
No, fatherhood does what?
Communication.
Yeah. Yeah, I had never attended a session where people tell you what communication is. But Father Odi brought it up to now when I want to know how to take it out to the women. I go back to the notes that he gave us. What is communication? What is it? So that people understand that when you are talking to them, already relating to them, you're already communicating, whether silently, body language, or you're on media, radio, all that is communication. I think we have got all those platforms to be able to reach women and advise them in just sort of many things. Me, what I request women out there or families is to be able to prepare children, our children, right from when they are young, when they are born, and then they grow up in our families at all levels, urban or rural. Grow those children so that we can be able to get better people than we have today. If we are having to grow our children, we want them to be good wives in some home or good husbands, they must start at home. You must be the example, and or if not, tell the children what they should do. You understand? So even the priests, we want good priests. When a priest is in a community or in a parish, you are looking out to see his goodness. You don't want to see anything bad of a priest, even a nun. These women, we call them, they are consecrated women. We look at them as people who are special. They are closer to Mother Mary than anything else. So we don't want that sort of thing. We want clear children brought up from the bottom of their lives. They start growing when they are reflecting what a good Catholic child should be, later on or now. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madame Flores, and thank you really for the discussion. It has been very insightful and a lot really to think about. Thank you. Well, it has been really nice having you on the weekend edition as we celebrate International Women's Day. As the Catholic women, there has been a lot of discussion in regards to that. The final reflection goes out to women out there. You are the primary custodian of children that make our society. Families are the bedrock of a society. So the children that we bring up in society are a reflection of the families that they came out from, and mothers have a very important role in making our communities stronger. So be a good example, exemplify Mother Mary in each and every way, not just through this season, but as a lifestyle, really. They've also talked about empowerment. Economic empowerment as a woman is very important. It will help you get to places that you may find hard to reach in different aspects of life, spiritually, economically, and in so many other areas. But with that, I just want to end today. My name is Nora Osende. I'll see you still next Sunday on the weekend edition. For now, do have yourself a wonderful evening and a good night.